Hello, my name is Tim, my company is Sports and Touring, and we are Jaguar F-Type specialists. And I'd like to answer a question here, a question that crops up from time to time, and in particular came into my inbox last night from a buyer who is wanting to purchase an F-Type, but is undecided between the V6 and the V6S. So let's answer that question first by examining what those two options mean. Well, the V6 and V6S both have the same engine. It's a 3-litre, 6-cylinder V configuration engine, and it is an engine from Jaguar's glorious history of engine design and manufacture, which is very highly regarded in the industry, so it's a great option to start with. In the early days of the F-Type, it was called the V6 or the V6S. Then for a while, both of those cars became known as the R-Dynamic, and you had to look at the specification in order to know whether you were dealing with a 340 or 380 car. After that, Jaguar resolved that issue by calling them the P340 and P380. So V6 equals R-Dynamic without a badge, but that's a 340, equals P340, and V6S equals R-Dynamic without a badge, but it's a 380, and P380. Okay, we've got that out of the way. What about the numbers? Well, pricing. Of course, the 340 car is always going to be less expensive than the 380, notwithstanding other things like mileage and condition and so forth. Other numbers, 0 to 60 time, not a lot in it. 5.1 seconds for the 340, 4.8 seconds for the 380. Top speed, even less to choose between, 161 miles an hour for the V6 340 and 171 miles an hour for the more powerful car. You do, with the 380, get an electronic limited slip differential, which if you're into your performance driving and you know about these things, will make a difference under certain circumstances. But if you're not a really quite serious driver, it's there in the background doing useful things for you, but you're probably not aware of it. Petrol consumption, again, it's hard to put a cigarette paper between the two. 33.6 miles per gallon combined for the 340, 32.9 miles per gallon combined for the 380. And of course, I ought to say that the 380 is available in all-wheel drive form with Jaguar's intelligent electronic all-wheel drive system, which sends all the power to the back end of the car until it realizes that it needs to send some to the front, and then it does so and sends a measured amount of torque to the front axle in order to address whatever grip challenges the car is encountering at the time. Right, that was boring, wasn't it? Lots of numbers, lots of facts. Let's now talk about the heart, because the Jaguar F-Type is a car that's about the heart, it's about the feel, it's about the emotion, it's about the connection, as I always say, between you and the car and your driving and the journey. So here there is quite a difference. The 380 is the same engine, but it is significantly higher tuned, so it makes better noises, it makes louder noises, it makes more satisfying noises. It seems to me to be slightly freer revving, that might just be my imagination, but it is a more engaging power plant when I'm driving than the 340. The 340, whilst a very fine sports car power plant, do not get me wrong on that at all, but it is just a touch subdued in comparison with the 380. So given that there's not a lot to choose between them, my preference would be towards the 380 car, and particularly if you want that exhaust roar, that drama from your driving, it's the 380 that you're going to need. But if for you the F-Type is more about touring and stately progress than about aggressive handling and driving, then the 340 is a very fine machine indeed. And the other thing to remember is that any used car purchase is a matter of compromise. There are lots to choose from very often, different colours, different levels of equipment, different ages, different mileages, different service histories. Please do what we do always and focus on the quality of the vehicle in front of you. Yes, you may have to make a compromise. Yes, maybe it missed a service or two. Particularly at the moment, we're seeing lots of cars that missed a service in COVID for the reasons that we all understand. We all lived through it, didn't we? But when you're making that decision, allow the little inconsistencies with your dream in order to achieve the best realization you can and buy a really good F-Type, whether 340, 380 or whatever is your preference. I hope that's helpful. And if you have a question, please do put it to us by telephone, email, WhatsApp. We're always happy to take phone calls and chat about these things. We frequently welcome people here at Trinley to come and just talk about F-Types, look at different ones, look at the physical differences, look at some of the color palettes and so forth. That's always a delight too. We're very happy to engage with anyone on an F-Type buying journey, whether they eventually choose one of ours or not. Please do like and subscribe to us here on YouTube. We'll be building much more F-Type related content in coming weeks and months. For now, thank you very much indeed for watching, and we will look forward to seeing you next time very soon.